Alright everybody, back with another binder video. Today's player is Hakeem Olajuwon. A few different people requested Hakeem in the previous video, so that's why he's next. But thanks to everybody who recommended any player. And keep those requests coming, because that'll definitely help me continue to pick who's next. But again, Hakeem is today. And quick story about Hakeem cards. A good friend of mine from childhood, still a good friend of mine to this day, but he doesn't collect anymore. But back in the day, we were both really big into watching and collecting NBA cards, and Hakeem was by far his favorite player. He was super collecting Hakeem back before we even called it super collecting. He wanted like every Hakeem card he could find, and every Hakeem card that I pulled, I would trade to him. That was kind of like an agreement we had. But then a few years ago, he was selling off all of his cards, including his Hakeem collection, and I actually sold it for him because I would usually sell all his cards for him on eBay, and it was just disappointing, not just to see him get rid of his collection, but also what it sold for. If I remember correctly, it was like $16 or something like that. And we're talking like hundreds of cards, a lot of nice inserts, just a really great collection that he had. And again, it was disappointing. I think it was more sad for me because I just remember him through the years building that collection, and just to see it go that quick, and again, go for such a cheap price. In hindsight, if I knew I was going to get back to collecting NBA the way I am now, I would have just bought the collection from him and just kind of held it in case he ever wanted to get back into it. But again, at the time, I was kind of getting rid of a lot of my side NBA stuff, so I really had no interest in finding a place to store like hundreds of Olajuwon cards. So again, I just sold it for him, but wish I hadn't, because all those cards would have been great in this Olajuwon section now. But still have some cool ones here that I've added over the past few years. I remember I pulled this one out of a box I bought on eBay a couple of years ago. Got the old school hologram there. Got some nice inserts here. A couple nice power in the key inserts. So again, some of these I've added through like NBA lots or card show bargain bins. Sure, some of them have come through care packages as well, because sometimes some of you guys throw in some random NBA stuff in some of my care packages. So again, I'm sure some of them were added that way. But yeah, this whole page in general is just really cool. A lot of nice stuff on there. But yeah, tremendous player overall. I think for a few years you could have legitimately considered him like the best all-around center in basketball. Definitely one of the best centers I ever saw. I actually rooted against him both times that he won a championship, though, because the first time was against the Knicks. Those might actually be shots from the finals. But yeah, great 7-game series against the Knicks. And then I rooted against them again the following year when they played the Orlando Magic in the finals. I just really liked that young Orlando Magic team, and actually thought they had a shot to win that series because, again, they had a lot of good young players. But I think the Rockets showed how important like veteran leadership is and experience, because that young Orlando team just kept falling apart late in all those games. And again, the Rockets just capitalized and swept them. Hakeem was the MVP of those finals, as well as the previous year's finals against the Knicks. He was also the league MVP one year. There you see him winning the Defensive Player of the Year award. So again, he was just a great all-around player, offensively and defensively. Offensively, I remember he was almost unguardable in the low post sometimes with all those great moves he had.
He turned him all the way around and then just scooped it in.
Olajuwon now facing the basket. Look at that move. Is that pretty?
Charles Smith and Olajuwon, and now Mason, as Mace forces him to take this off the wrong foot. But Olajuwon starting to warm up.
And again, defensively, he was good too, because you see these long arms, they would lead to a lot of blocked shots. So again, just one of the all-time greatest centers. There you see a few of his cards with the USA team. He was born in Nigeria, but became a US citizen like in the early 90s and was allowed to play for one of the USA Dream teams. I remember him saying that it meant a lot to him to be able to do that, so that was pretty cool. You see some from when the Rockets changed their uniforms. A lot of the traditional people prefer the kind of old plain looking one, which those are alright, but I didn't mind the newer cartoony looking ones either. I remember when they switched those uniforms, they also switched their court. It looked like a comic book on their court, but they toned it down a bit. I think there were some people complaining about it. That's a really cool insert. I pulled that from Topps gallery box about a year ago. That must have been from like a trip they had to London or something. And yeah, getting close to the end here. Got a couple nice ones there. Flair Showcase. That's the 96-97 and the 97-98. That's the 97-98 finest, the bronze and the silver. That's a cool insert that opens up. So here's what it normally looks like closed, and then you open it up and there he is, Tower of Power. So this insert set was just for like the really big guys, like the centers and the power forwards. Pretty cool idea. And then took this one out too because it has Hakeem on one side, and wanted to show that other side with the Dikembe Mutombo, who I also have in this same binder, so eventually might have to get another one of those for the Mutombo section. But yeah, a couple nice inserts there. Let me put those back. Alright, so moving along. This is a pretty nice insert too, this shiny one from Topps. Patriarchs. And then that's it. This is the final page here. Got this Topps Gold label that I got in a lot recently, and then this one from Upper Deck. I think Upper Deck had lost their NBA license by then, so they started doing college stuff. So yeah, he went to college at Houston and also played most of his career in Houston. Played 1 year for the Toronto Raptors. Never even seen a Toronto Raptors card of him. I'm sure there's some of them out there, but again, I personally never saw one. Then I got 2 top-loaded cards of him. Got another one of these 87, 88 Fleer cards. I have a few of the stars from the set. Should have picked up one of the Jordans before they really blew up. Then I also have one Hakeem autograph. Bought that off Sebastian Select a while back. Gave me a great deal on it. Never thought I'd have a Hakeem auto, so that's really nice. Never even thought I'd have a bunch of Hakeem cards in a binder like this, because again, as a kid, I trade pretty much every single Hakeem card I got to my friends, so cool to have them represented in this binder. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, and again, keep the recommendations coming. And it doesn't just have to be NBA stuff, like, could be any player from any sport. If I have cards of that player, I'll show what I have, so talk to you guys next time.